Howdy, parents. I just wanted to drop in and share something with you that's been on my heart and also fill you in on something new that we started here in the youth group. Last night at midweek worship, we started to study the book of Revelation. Basically, since day one, your kids have been asking me, hey, can we study Revelation, study Revelation? That's not a new trend. I've been in youth ministry for almost 18 years now, and that and sex are all I ever want to talk about. And a few other things, of course. So we're excited to jump in the book of Revelation. We're going to be doing that from now till mostly through January. But it jumped off, as you can imagine, I walked him through a little bit about who John was, not John the Baptist John, John the disciple of Jesus John, whose brother was James, not the author of the book of James, but the brother of Jesus, James, and then John was, of course, following Jesus, and that was a lot of fun to go through. Several students continued, are you sure this wasn't John the Baptist? No, it really was. It wasn't John the Baptist, different John. A lot of Johns in the Bible. So we walked through that, and then we covered all of Revelation chapter 1 last night. And it turned out really, really well. But I told the students, and I want to tell you this too, part of the reason they're excited to study the book of Revelation is because they want to learn what all the weird stuff means. And most people who go through the book of Revelation, they want to learn what all the weird stuff means. And so I told them right up front, I don't know what all the weird stuff means. And by and large, anybody who tells you what all the weird stuff means with absolute certainty is lying to you, because the weird stuff is the weird stuff for a reason. There's a lot of the book of Revelation that interprets itself. For instance, in chapter 1, there's a few weird things that pops up, but Jesus actually says, this is what you're seeing, what it means. And so we're going to walk through the book of Revelation, and when it's clear what it means, we'll explain it to them, and when it's not clear, we're just going to be honest with them and say we're not sure what this means. But we could jump into the historical interpretations. We could go into the original Greek. We could look at maps, and we could go into who said what and when and why, and who in history kind of maybe fills in what the book of Revelation here is talking about. But the fact of the matter is, if I did that, it would be interesting and the kids would think it's cool, but it wouldn't cause them to love Jesus anymore. And so here's what's on my heart that I want you to understand, and I hope you'll take this to heart too. When you go to pick your kids up from youth group, or when you get your kids from Kids Rock or wherever, anytime you jump in the vehicle from a Bible study or whatever, please don't ask your kids the question, hey, what'd you learn tonight? And it's not that them learning stuff doesn't matter. Like, I hope that they learn stuff. In fact, it drives me nuts when your kids say, I already knew all that. That's, again, not uncommon, because I know when they come home from school and you say, hey, what'd you learn at school today? Nothing. We know that's not true. That's the height of arrogance, but part of being a teenager by default is a little bit of arrogance, and we're kind of arrogant as adults too. But learning is not the point of why we come do what we do. When we congregate as a youth group and when we congregate as a congregation, the point is not to learn things. The point is for us to fall in love with and understand who Jesus is more and more and more. In fact, that's what the entire book of Revelation is all about. And I told them this up front last night. The book of Revelation is not about the end of the world. The book of Revelation is about the revelation of Jesus as the King of the universe. And hopefully last night they saw that and got that, and certainly by the end of the book, I'm praying that they see that and understand that. But even more so, again, knowledge is worthless. In fact, the scriptures about themselves say, knowledge just puffs up. It's love that causes us to grow. That's from 1 Corinthians. And so my goal every time I teach your kids, and hopefully the goal of anybody that's teaching the scriptures to your kids, I can tell you this is the heart of every pastor here, but our goal is to help your kids fall in love with Jesus more. So don't ask them the question, what did you learn today? Instead, ask them the question, how were you challenged to love and follow Jesus more? And they might not know how to respond. And in fact, your younger kids, elementary kids, they're not going to know how to answer that question. It's okay to ask them, what did you learn today? But your teenagers are ready to be challenged in that way. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I know that's what you're trying to do at home. So any way I could partner with you in that, I sure want to. God bless y'all. I love you. And I can't wait to worship with you on Sunday. See ya.